This is DD India. You're watching Express News, a program where we bring you top 100 news of the day. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Let's begin. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday marked the 10th anniversary of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao movement, stating that it has become a people-powered initiative, drawing participation from people from different walks of life. The Indian government is organising week-long celebrations to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative. As India gears up to celebrate its 76th Republic Day on 26th of January, preparations for the Grand Parade are on at full swing in the national capital, New Delhi. From the disciplined march of soldiers to cutting-edge military equipment, the parade promises to showcase the strength and diversity and resilience of our great nation. India's space economy has touched $8 billion and is projected to touch $44 billion in the next decade, with the sector welcoming private investments. Dr. Jitendra Singh, Minister of State for Science and Technology, shared an in-depth conversation about India's transformation in the industry, lauding startups and FDI for fueling innovation. India's Ministry of Defence has signed a contract with Heavy Vehicles Factory for the procurement of 47 T-72 bridge-laying tanks for the Indian Army. The contract, with a total cost of 1,560 crore rupees, was inked by the senior officials of the Defence Ministry and Heavy Vehicles Factory and Armoured Vehicle Nigam Limited in the presence of Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh in New Delhi. India's top court adjourned the suo motu hearing of RG Kar College and Hospital rape and murder case till January 29th on Wednesday. On the 10th day of the Mahakumbh, Prayagraj continues to welcome millions of devotees at Triveni Sangam, the world's largest religious gathering. Over its 45-day duration, the grand spiritual gathering is expected to draw more than 40 crore devotees, including pilgrims and visitors from across the globe. The Uttar Pradesh government held a special cabinet meeting in Prayagraj on Wednesday to approve several significant proposals and schemes for the state. Officials chaired a high-level meeting to review arrangements for upcoming Amarnath Yatra 2025 in Jammu and Kashmir. The meeting involved discussions on improvements in health services, sanitation, flood protection measures, solar lighting, parking facilities, mobile connectivity, transport services, and contingency plans. India's Punjab is set to enforce stricter traffic regulations with the introduction of an online traffic ticket system from 26th of January. For better surveillance and traffic management system, advanced cameras will now monitor and record traffic violations. India's Hyderabad-based Defence Research and Development Laboratory has successfully conducted ground test of long-duration scramjet engine. The successful ground test of this scramjet engine is a significant milestone in the development of next-generation hypersonic missiles. A mysterious illness has claimed 17 lives in Bhadal village in Rajouri district of the Indian state of Jammu and Kashmir. The illness has prompted J&K administration to take stringent containment measures. The village has been divided into 3 zones, and a high-level interministerial team led by Chief Secretary Atal Dulo is investigating the cause of the deaths. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday announced private sector investment of up to $500 billion to fund artificial intelligence infrastructure. OpenAI, SoftBank and Oracle plan a Texas-based joint venture called Stargate and have committed $100 billion initially and then up to $500 billion to Stargate over the next 4 years. Wall Street stocks jumped on Tuesday as markets were greeted by early moves by US President Donald Trump that raised hopes that new tariffs won't be as bad as feared. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 1.2%, while S&P 500 gained 0.9%. The tech-rich NASDAQ Composite Index also advanced 0.6%. Most Asian markets also extended a global rally. Japan's Nikkei jumped 1.4%. Taipei also enjoyed a big jump, with chip titan and market heavyweight TSMC up more than 2%. China and Hong Kong stocks weakened after Trump's remarks on potential new tariffs. Chinese blue chips fell 1.2%, while Shanghai Composite Index lost 0.9%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index also lost 1.5%. Oil prices were little changed on Wednesday as markets weighed US President Donald Trump's declaration of a national energy emergency on his first day in office and its impact on supply. Brent crude futures rose 9 cents to $79.38 per barrel, while US crude inched up 1 cent to $75.84 a barrel. Netflix added nearly 19 million subscribers in its fourth quarter to bring its total global subscriber base to nearly 302 million customers, a number that dwarfs its Hollywood streaming rivals. Netflix stock surged about 13% on Tuesday, lifting its value by almost $50 billion. Over the last year, Netflix shares have gained more than 77%, outpacing the S&P 500's 24% rise. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar attended the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting in Washington, D.C., along with his counterparts from Australia, Japan and the United States. Member nations underlined the priority Quad has in the foreign policy and held discussions on wide-ranging dimensions, ensuring a free, open, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific. The joint statement by the Quad leaders stressed on their strong opposition to any unilateral actions that seek to change the status quo by force or coercion. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio held its first bilateral meeting with India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar after resumption of office as the top American diplomat. Dr. Jaishankar also had a meeting with the US National Security Advisor Mike Waltz at the White House. Both leaders discussed strengthening friendship to ensure mutual benefit. India's Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnav is in Switzerland to attend the World Economic Forum. He met Swiss Federal Railways delegation and had a detailed discussion on safety technologies and maintenance practices. The Indian Railways Minister also visited a rail coach manufacturing plant of Stadler Rail at St. Margrethen. US President Donald Trump began his first full day in office, attending a prayer service at the Washington National Cathedral on Tuesday, and got a sermon, an appeal to protect immigrants and respect gay rights. Democratic-led states and civil rights groups have filed several lawsuits challenging US President Donald Trump's bid to roll back birthright citizenship on Tuesday, in an early bid by his opponents to block his agenda in court. Donald Trump indicated that he may impose fresh sanctions on Russia if President Vladimir Putin refuses to negotiate a deal to end the conflict in Ukraine. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reiterated that his government is ready to respond to all scenarios if US President Donald Trump imposes tariffs on Canada. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum downplayed the tariff threat while urging calm in the face of Trump's announcements of severe new restrictions on migration. Panama registered a complaint to the United Nations over US President Trump's worrying threat to seize the Panama Canal. United Nations agencies extended regret over United States' decision to withdraw from the World Health Organization and the Paris Agreement on climate change. Israel has launched a military operation in the West Bank with soldiers, police and intelligence services working together to carry out a counter-terrorism mission. 8 trucks delivered more supplies to Gaza on Wednesday as the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas entered its 4th day. The truce deal requires at least 600 truckloads of aid to be allowed into Gaza every day of the initial 6-week ceasefire, including 50 trucks carrying fuel. South Korea's arrested President Yoon Suk-yeol on Tuesday attended the third formal hearing of his impeachment trial at the Constitutional Court in Seoul. South Korea's aviation authorities have announced plans to replace concrete barriers at select airports nationwide in the wake of the devastating Jeju air crash on December 29, which resulted in the loss of 179 lives. A fire at a ski resort hotel in Turkey's Bolu Mountains killed 76 people and injured dozens, forcing panicked guests to jump out of windows in the middle of the night. We're heading for a short break here on DD India. We'll be back with the Express News in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's resume. After experiencing 3 relatively warmer days, Delhi residents can expect a temperature change again from today, as the temperature may drop in the National Capital Region in the coming days due to a possible rain spell. The India Meteorological Department has issued a yellow alert as dense fog is expected in some areas, while moderate fog or smog will reduce visibility in the morning and evening hours. The severe winter chill prevailing in several parts of Odisha is likely to abate from Wednesday, as the regional office of the India Meteorological Department in Bhubaneswar has forecast a rise in night temperature by 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Strong winds fanned the flames of the lilac fire in San Diego County on Tuesday, with residents evacuating homes. According to reports, the lilac fire, which started at West Lilac Road, is burning and is steep, rocky terrain close to properties. California firefighters were battling brush fires that were igniting across San Diego County. Police shut down a section of the road and evacuated nearby buildings as ground crews and helicopters battled the fire, which was spreading uphill towards a condominium complex. The death toll from landslides that struck Pekalongan region in Indonesia's central Java province on Tuesday has risen to 17. Head of the Central Java Disaster Mitigation Agency said that over 9 people are still missing following the landslides. The landslides also critically injured 10 individuals, partially damaged 2 houses and swept away several vehicles. As a rare snowstorm churned across the U.S. Gulf Coast as parts of North Florida were blanketed by snow, local media called the storm historic, as Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency in response to the storm. Snow has blanketed parts of Georgia as a fierce winter storm swept through parts of USA. A snowstorm warning was in effect for 31 million people from southern Texas, east through Georgia, and north to the Carolinas and into Virginia. Residents were taking the rare opportunity to walk and play in the snow. Up to 5 inches of snow were forecast for Mobile, Alabama, where such accumulations have not been seen in more than 60 years. Winter Carnival 2025 begins in India's Himachal Pradesh. The 5-day event, which began on Monday, weaves together cultural performances, winter sports and traditional arts, creating a magical atmosphere. The carnival not only preserves and promotes local traditions, but also serves as a dynamic platform that brings together artists, athletes and visitors from across India. Cities across China are dazzling with vibrant lantern displays, drawing crowds of visitors to celebrate the festive atmosphere ahead of the Spring Festival, the country's most important annual celebration. The Spring Festival, which marks the start of the Chinese Lunar New Year, is the biggest annual holiday in China when people across the country return to their hometown for Lunar New Year celebrations and family reunions. A trail of 12 dazzling new artworks by artists from across the globe were set up in London's Canary Wharf Financial District for the annual Winterlights Festival. In Winterlights Festival, artists from around the world showcase their installations inspired by their diverse backgrounds. In Mongolia, clay art has become an effective way to reduce stress and anxiety and has become an opportunity to relax, unwind and free your mind in the busy life of a big city. In a training studio of artist N. Nimbaikar, there are various types of clay objects including cups, ladles, vases made by himself and his clients. An aquarium in Japan is using cardboard cutouts of visitors to cheer up its lonely resident sunfish who stopped eating after the building closed to real-life visitors. Kaioken Aquarium closed its doors temporarily on December 1 to undergo restorations, causing its sunfish to lose its appetite within a week as its regular crowd of visitors disappeared. In Hong Kong, 2 locally born giant panda cubs will be meeting public for the first time next month since the birth of the 2 baby pandas last year. Residents have been following the cubs. The 6-month-old twins will debut at the Ocean Park on February 15th. The naming ceremony for the cubs is also expected along with the event. The founder of Australian dance theatre Elizabeth Dalman has returned to help devise the company's next Adelaide Festival show. Dalman founded the Australian Dance Theatre in the 1960s and now at the age of 90, she is back helping creating a special anniversary production. Louis Vuitton's men's creative director Pharrell Williams drew his audience to a rare courtyard of the Louvre Museum after dark for a fall-winter catwalk show kicking off the Paris Fashion Week. The iconic Louvre became the backdrop for a high-octane fashion spectacle as Louis Vuitton unveiled its latest menswear collection during Paris Fashion Week. Richard Linklater's new feature about a Broadway composer, a documentary about young people in war from Ukraine, and a homage to 1960s spy films were among the films unveiled as part of the 2025 Berlin Film Festival's competition lineup. New festival director Tricia Tuttle showed excitement about an interesting mix of all kinds of films with star power and guests from more than 150 countries coming to the 75th edition of the festival. With the Oscar nominations only days away, the Razzies issued their picks for the worst in films for the past year. The post, the Razzies nominated Joker, Madame Web, Megalopolis as the worst movies of 2024 appeared first on Consequence. While the second season of the Squid Game has new plot twists, one element of the Netflix mega-hit series where contestants down on their luck risk their lives to play children's games for the chance of winning cash prizes has remained constant. Young Hee, who is clad in a simple orange dress with a hair clip, has become a viral meme on the social media and the centerpiece of the streaming giant's promotional campaign. Kapil Sharma, the comedian, has released his single called Guilt, which as per the description is an emotional journey of love and reflection. The release of his highly anticipated period drama Punjab 95 has been delayed. Singer-actor Diljit Dosanjh himself took to social media to announce this, explaining that the release date had to be pushed due to unforeseen circumstances. Patal Lok Season 2 series continues to impress with its brilliant mix of political commentary, police procedural and thriller elements, all elevated by the masterful direction of Avinash Arun Dhaware. On to sports now. Team India, led by Suryakumar Yadav, will take on England in the first of the 5 T20s on Wednesday at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata. The Indian Physical Disability Cricket team clinched the PD Champions Trophy 2025, defeating England by 79 runs in the final in Sri Lanka. In men's hockey, UP Rudras claimed 3 points with a 2-0 win over Team Gonasika in their Hockey India League match on Tuesday. In the Women's Hockey India League, Odisha Warriors registered 2-0 penalty shootout victory against Surma Hockey Club on Tuesday. Grandmaster R. Pragnananda beat fellow Indian Leon Luke Mendoka to take sole lead after the 4th round of the Tata Steel Masters chess tournament. Union Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandviya met the Indian women's and men's teams who won the inaugural edition of the Kho-Kho World Cup. All action, Ben Shelton battled past stubborn Italian Lorenzo Sonego 6-4, 7-5, 4-6, 7-6 on Wednesday to reach his first Australian Open semi-final. America's Madison Keys blasted her way into the Australian Open semi-finals for a 3rd time after beating Elina Svitolina on Wednesday. 5-time major champion Iga Swiatek is past number 8 Emma Navarro in the Australian Open quarter-finals. World number 7 Novak Djokovic outclassed Carlos Alcaraz in a blockbuster clash on Tuesday to stay on track for an 11th Australian Open title. In the semi-finals, Novak Djokovic will face Alexander Zverev on Friday, while defending champion Arna Sabalenka will take on Spain's Paulo Badosa. Liverpool advanced to the quarter-finals of the Champions League with a 2-1 victory over 10-man Lille on Tuesday at Anfield. Barcelona defeated Benfica 5-4 in a thrilling match on Tuesday and virtually ensured a direct qualification to the Champions League last 16. Bologna bagged a 2-1 comeback win over Borussia Dortmund in the Champions League on Tuesday to earn their first victory in the competition. And as Monaco edged past Aston Villa 1-0 at home in the Champions League on Tuesday, this was with an early goal from Wilfried Singo. That's it in this edition of Express News. Keep watching DD India. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.